And this is
Thank
this is
you.
first question I'm gonna ask you is this is like what got you started in the sport of bodybuilding? Also, what type of doctor are you? Are you a sawbone, old-fashioned doctor, a sawbone?
I will answer the second question first. I actually am a doctor of pharmacy. So I'm not a physician. I have my doctorate in pharmacy. So I got my doctorate, oh gosh, back in 2003. I'm a pharmacist by trade, and I do it for a living still. So that's my day job, and my night job is in the gym, the unpaid night job.
Yeah.
Um, and how did I get started in bodybuilding? It's really kind of a roundabout story. It was back in 2016, if I have the math correct. I was coming up on my 20th year reunion for college, and I just wanted to look a certain way. I wanted to, you know how we kind of want to impress when we go back to our reunions after an extended amount of time, and so I wanted to not just drop weight, but I just kind of wanted to look different. At that point, Serena Williams was like my muse. I really enjoyed the shape that she was presenting to the world. I'm like, I want to look like that. Um, and so I hired a coach, an online coach, who happened to be an IFBB pro figure pro. But bodybuilding was not in the plans. I just wanted to look a certain way for my reunion. And she set me up on bodybuilding type meal plans, bodybuilding type workouts. And so the more I got into it, and of course, after I saw the results, I'm like, wait a minute, I think we may be onto something here because the results were phenomenal. She totally recomped my body, and I wasn't necessarily hooked, if you will, because I did not compete for the first time until 2020. So it was a span of 4 to 5 years, give or take, before I even committed to training for my first show. Um, and I will be very honest, I was a bit hesitant. I thought I was a little bit too old to get started in it. I don't know how old I was. Maybe I was 41 at the time. And I just kept going back and forth in my head, like, can you do this? Will it work out? I mean, you know how the self doubt plays in your head if you allow it. And I allowed it to play in my head for years. And finally, when I made a commitment to myself toward the end of 2019, I said, okay, when I turn 45, I'm going to compete for the first time. And I stuck to it. I started training in January 2020, and I stepped on stage for the first time in October 2020.
Yeah, it's a process, when you get to bodybuilding. And then, like I said,
Hmm.
you want to be more healthier. And that's how a lot of ladies got into it, either for health reasons, sometimes dealing with issues with their life, or just being athletic in the past. Were you athletic when
Hmm.
you were coming up?
Never. I never played a sport in my life. No, I was on the academic decathlon. So I was playing sports with my brain, but I did not play any sports throughout any part of my education growing up.
Uh, so you're a nerd.
Yeah,
Well, don't be fine.
absolutely.
I play football, but I'm still a geek. I like Star Trek and stuff like that. I'm a geek, so I can say that. Yeah, we had somebody coming through here. It's my man KL, the Wanderer. He says this. He says, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, brother, how you doing?"
What's going
Also,
on?
he says, "Hello, Doctor Adrienne." And he said. Also, he
Hello,
says this. He
hello.
says. He says, I felt sick, but I feel a lot better now looking at this interview. Yeah, you know why he's looking here.
Oh,
As you know, we guys, these good part of my guys who follow me are is I will admit my crime. I admit my crime with Mercer Purse Smokes. We love you, ladies. We get excited about you. Yeah, on the stage in your little suits. But
ah,
yeah, but we also, as a content maker, I do respect the commitment, passion, and like I said, age. It's not what I'm learning since the sport been around. A lot of women who get in sport later in life. I've interviewed a lady she got in at 55. There's been
mm,
women who got the pro card. Recently, I saw was I think it was the Teen Collegiate. The lady got a pro card in bodybuilding at 80. I mean, you just have to have a passion for a sport because it's a tough
Yes.
sport. And the sacrifice you have to make, the time you got to put in it, the money you got to put into it, it's a tough sport. Now, what was that like that first time we were on stage? The bright lights and the little suit and the high heels.
Actually, I can honestly say the first time is pretty much no different than, let's see, I think Tupelo was my 17th show, if I'm not mistaken. I always have nerves. It never changes from the October 2020 show to last week's show. I always have nerves. It's kind of, but it's not negative nerves. It's just okay, I think it's a little bit of positive performance anxiety. I just want to make sure that I nail what I'm supposed to nail as far as my poses and things like that. But I get nervous from the first show until last week's show. It's just how I'm wired. And I think if I don't get nervous, I feel like as if I'm a little bit too comfortable. And I never want to get too comfortable, ever.
Yeah, because you got to
Hmm.
think about it. Y'all train for like a entire year, just be on stage
Hmm.
for just like a minute. And with figure,
Hmm.
your routines are more regimental, where you don't have like you look at division like women's bodybuilding and physique. We have more poses. You have to present yourself. It's more like I would say uh, beauty contest compared to the
Yeah.
other divisions. Like you look at bikini and wellness, y'all have to wear the high heels. I know
Yes.
some ladies say when they, I interviewed a lady the other day, her name is Lenore Gracie. She was happy to get out of high heels. And, that's the tough part about that. So as a competitor, especially in this sport, what do you feel really motivates you, to compete, just to get up on that stage and every day and train and work out?
A few things keep me motivated. Number one, I've always had this kind of, I guess, little fire in me that I always want to be better. Whatever, fill in the blank, better at. When I was in school, I wanted to be better at in school. So I studied hard. I wanted to get a scholarship, so I studied hard so that I got that scholarship. So it's all about me trying to get better. And so that is definitely a driving factor here is that yes, I have people that I'm competing against, but it's about me getting better because I can't control who shows up, but I can control, the effort that I put in, the time and work that I put in to present a package that hopefully will be better than a package that I presented at a previous show or the previous year. So that is the number one driver, and the second driver is very very elementary. Um, and I always say it the same way every time is I don't want to look stupid on stage. So I want to look as if I belong on stage, whether it was the NPC stage and now current state, whether it's the pro stage. I want to look as if I belong on stage and I quite frankly do not want to look crazy on stage is very simple for me. And so I put in the work so that I can present the best package possible and the chips will fall where they may.
Yeah, that's a good idea because you have
Hmm.
to have a lot of
Hmm.
courage to do this sport. It takes a lot.
Hmm.
Like I said again, you're going on stage in front of judges, presenting yourself. Also, people don't
Hmm.
realize that we all are sometimes you're hungry, you're dehydrated, you're tired.
Hmm.
The workout, your training, everything that's
Hmm.
involved to bring your body to this stage and to like not everybody can do this sport. I mean, a lot of
Yes.
people who don't understand it are just like always the mindset of most people are bodybuilders like everybody's on steroids or this and that. But that's not all of it. You have to you have to follow consistency. You have to follow a diet. You have to follow a workout plan. You mentioned your coach, your first coach. Who was that? And which you working with now?
My very first coach for bodybuilding or for when I wanted to lose weight for my college
Both
reunion.
of them.
Which one are
Both
we
of them.
talking about?
Both of them. You talk about
Okay,
both.
the first coach that I hired just to look good for my reunion, her name is Kimberly Daynert, IFBB Figure Pro. we're still in contact to this day, just via text and Facebook and whatnot. And my first coach for bodybuilding is or was I should say Aisha Barrow, IFBB Bikini Pro. And so I met her here in Minnesota where I live, and like I said before, Kimberly, I met her online when I lived in South Carolina, and she is in the DMV area.
Oh, yeah, that's in
Hmm.
the DC, Metro, Virginia. I think I learned that
Oh,
lingo from that.
DC, Maryland, Virginia.
So, yeah, yeah, that's what it is. I know.
Uh-huh.
I heard it before a couple of
Uh-huh.
times. And you live in Minnesota. The home
I
of the
do.
current nominee for vice president, and also the home of my favorite singer of all time, Prince. Yeah, this is it. People say, "Who's better, Michael or Prince?" I love Michael, but Prince was better. Prince was more talented. He had. That's the hey. You got to think
I
about it.
can I can co-sign that. I can
Yeah.
co-sign that.
Yeah. I
I can
know some
co-sign
people.
that. Hmm.
That's an argument. That's an argument. But hey, like I said, I love Michael. Prince is just
Hmm.
like this thing. Any brother can wear high heels and tight pants and take your girl. Yes.
That's a
Anyway,
skill in and of itself.